of the most popular techniques is ombre. So we're going to show you how to do that today. First of all, you're going to put your start, as we talked about painting, and you're going to dab. This is your first layer. You're going to dab straight down a thin layer. And I use the term break the brush, and that's what you need to do. You need to press quite hard so you get a thin but solid layer on. This is going to set the foundation to be able to add the multiple colors on without any bleeding underneath your stencil. Nice and thick. So ombre is laying one color or one color of paint over top of another. So you have to make sure that each layer is wet or it won't work. We're going to use mint here to go over top of the pink, and I'm just going to dab over top of the pink here, and you're just creating a blend. And just going to blend the pink and the green together. The same here, and dab it. I always remind people that it usually takes a couple layers to finish your project. So the first time that you try the ombre, the first layer is kind of your test run. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. You kind of get the feel of how the colors are going to blend. And then as you move to the second color, once you've gone over top of, for this, in this case, the pink, you're going over with the mint, you're going to grab a new brush and go straight with the mint. And dab it just like you did with the first layer of the pink. Up. And blend it in. Now you can let that dry, and once it dries, we'll do it one more time. So the second coat, you're going to just dab straight down. At this point, you could swipe or swirl or paint however you wanted to. When you get to the part that you've blended, you're just going to go over it just a little bit where the pink was, and then you're going to dip your brush into the mint and blend the pink in the mint again. Create that blended color kind of over top of the two words. And then I'm going to take my new brush and finish the mint. If you're looking down at it and it looks like a stripe, it will look like a stripe when you take the stencil off. So you might want to just take a brush and dip it in both paints and just make sure that that line between the two colors is kind of a blended line. It doesn't look pink and it doesn't look mint, it looks a combination of both. And then when you take the stencil off, you will get that ombre effect. Okay, let's wait till it dries and see what happens. So our paint is dry, and like I said, it is quite dull and chalky. We're going to take the stencil off now. What I suggest you do is you always try to remove the stencil against the grain. So as you can see on this piece of wood, the grain is going up and down. I want to remove the stencil across the board. So I'm just going to pull it off, similar to the way that you pull off the stencil, kind of roll it against it. Not all of it is going to come. Take as much as you can with it off. Nothing will come off that isn't supposed to. And as you can see, you've got a little bit of ombre there. I'll show you more when we get taking a sharp knife. You're going to go to the edge of the inside of the stencil and just lift off the different pieces of your design to show. And because you dabbed straight down, you're going to see nice clean edges and an ombre effect. That's ombre. The last step in any wood project is putting the seal coat on. And we use a couple seal coats, but what I'm going to show you today is using the wax. So it's a clear wax with American Chalk Paint brand that we use. You just use a rag to put it on. And you're just going to take a little bit of it and you're going to wipe the entire board. Chalk paint, until you put a seal on it, will actually wipe off with a piece of water or with a rag, a wet rag. So you want to be able to make sure that you seal coat all of your projects, especially those that you're going to want to dust with a wet rag, for those of us who dust. Those that don't, you still want to use one. So make sure that you get the edges as well. So everything is sealed nicely. And there is your completed piece. And swearing helps.